Hello and welcome to Steelscapes. It's just a brief video about our woven steel fencing and also now woven aluminium fencing. It's going to show you a little bit about installation, which is exactly the same for the woven steel as well as the aluminium. So how does it work? So you tell us how high and how long your fence is, and then we provide you with all the materials you'll need to build a fence. It's a pretty simple process, and we supply to trades, designers and also the DIY market. Okay, so let's crack on with the installation. So with each order from us, you'll receive the post cut to length, allowing for 600 millimeters below the ground, slats, and also rivets, rivet gun for connecting the slats together, clamp, chalk pen, and of course instructions. So you'll need a post knocker, tape measure, a marker to mark the position of the post, a level, a little lump hammer, and a drill. So we're not going to make this that easy for ourselves. It's only a short section of fence, about 5 meters long, but it's going to be in a curve and have a step down. So these are all common things that we can accommodate with a woven steel fence. So we'll get right to it. So the first job is to mark the posts at the height of the fence. So we've got two sections. The lower section is 1.5 meters. So I'll make a mark 1.5 meters down from the top. Higher section is 1.6, so we'll do the same with this one, 1.6. You'll see here we've got two bigger posts with a groove down the end. These are end posts, and again, we'll do the same for those as well. So we're going to start with the two end posts. Because this is a curve, we can actually use the end posts to help us mark the curve out with a slat, which I'll show you shortly. It's really important when you're knocking them in, just to check the levels on either side. So just do that intermittently while they're being knocked into the ground. So keep your pen mark some distance above the ground at this point. I'd recommend between 5 and 10 centimeters, and the reason for that will become apparent shortly. So to give us a nice curve to follow with our fence, a little tip is to actually use a slat. You can assume if they bend to form a nice curve and the fence follows that, then you know you're on the right track. Okay. So the slat has given us a nice curve to work to. Now we can start on the interim post. You don't necessarily have to knock both end posts in at the start. Often it gives you a little bit more flexibility to start with one end post and then carry on with the rest of the posts. It then allows you to finish on a full slat or gives you a little bit more flexibility. But I know how long this fence is going to be, and it has helped me to then anchor the slat to form the curve. If you don't put the other end post in and you want a curve, you can always use some small stakes to hold this slat in place. But I know now if my posts follow this curved slat, we'll end up with a nice natural looking curve at the end. So I'll now crack on and get the rest of the interim posts in. Just do a final check of the levels. Now's the time to be adjusting them as you need to. So with your posts in, now for the fun part, the weaving. So with all the slats in, it's now time just to get your post nice and straight. Nothing's secured yet. We've not done any riveting, so everything can be adjusted. So now's the time to check all the posts, make sure there's no gaps between the slats, and that you're happy with everything. You're happy with the height and the way the fence looks, because it's all adjustable at this point. I could take this apart in no time at all and then rebuild it. So I'm going to go around now with a spirit level and a hammer, check all the posts, check all the slats to make sure everything's okay before we commit to knocking the post down and riveting the joins. Okay, so it's woven, the post's been levelled off, they've been hit down to the top of the fence, the slats are all touching, so I'm happy with it. So we can now start to commit by riveting up the joins. So now we can start riveting up the joins, and then we also do the top of every other post. So we'll drill through here and rivet here and every other post along the top and on the bottom. So this prevents the bottom slat from sinking, so the whole fence doesn't sink, and also prevents anyone being able to lift the slats off. So we'll do a join now as a little example. So we supply you with a clamp, obviously the rivets, the drill bit and the rivet gun. So make sure the joins are lined up. This is about a 10 centimetre overlap. There is flexibility in that. So if you've got to let's say you want to do a 15 centimetre overlap because then it allows your fence to finish at the correct point, then that's fine, or a bit less is fine as well. So here we go. Clamp on. And then we're going to go for a fairly central hole. You can measure this, but we've done enough, so by eye is fine. And then we'll start drilling. Not too fast, not too hard, otherwise the drill bit would overheat, but just a constant pressure at an average speed. And just clean the hole out a bit. And then put the rivet in the rivet tool, pop him in there, open the jaws until he sinks down, push him in, and then just keep cranking. It's not too difficult until the tail snaps off. So that gives you a nice clean join on both sides. The rivets are aluminium, so they'll blend in with the fence. So again, we'll do another one there and repeat that throughout the join. So this is our woven aluminium fencing. We're pretty excited about it. Exactly the same principle as the woven steel, but obviously completely different look. Very contemporary. We think this is going to look great set within planting schemes. You can imagine purple alliums and ornamental grasses and nice flowering herbaceous plants looking stunning against this. And like the wild steel, they're both very practical as well. This is going to last a lifetime, zero maintenance, and it's never going to rot. So like the mild steel, you can use this for raised beds, a stunning boundary fence, or as a feature as this is, just as a curve. You could then put another feature in front of it. So the beauty of woven fencing in aluminium or mild steel is its versatility. So obviously we've done a curve here. It's just as easy to create straight lines. For sloping sites, you can step the bottom of the fence, and of course step the top of the fence. So it is probably the most versatile fencing system on the market. We can also supply wall fixing brackets, so you can secure your fence on top of a wall to the side of a wall as well. In the mild steel, we can also make gates. In fact, we can also do that in core 10 steel as well. So really, the opportunities with this sort of fencing are endless. So just let us know what you're trying to create and we'll do our very best to help you. There's loads more information online. There's so much more I could say, but it's all on there. All the pricing's on there. Just give Dawn in the office a call. She'll be happy to help you. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll hear from you.